Give me the countdown, man. As talk about Ben Simmons and what's going on with him. We're going to talk about the upcoming games as well. We're going to talk F1 and we're going to talk some EPL sports. So people stay tuned. Sorry for being late. We had some technical issues on our side, but again, big ups to your boy Ray for sorting that out and getting us live for you guys. So again, thank you for coming in. Before we jump right into this, we're gonna just check out the Astro Bros and see what's going on with them. So, Cody, what's the vibe? What's the action?
Like I said, I want Rayvon to talk to me nice. Basketball expert. Well, you wasn't no 0 for 2 on your predictions. Are they 2 for 0? Come on, brother. Come on, man. You're looking like the Lakers here today, man. You're looking terrible on this table, man. But you're looking good at top. You're looking pretty, sitting pretty. So I'm pretty happy today, Hats, man. That's all I got to say.
Rayvon, what about you? I think your mic is muted. I think so. I don't think we can hear you right now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything good?
Yeah.
Talk
Everything?
that talk.
Right.
Talk that talk again, buddy. Talk
Cody
that
coming
talk
from
again.
me from the jump. Coming from me from the jump. I tell Cody
Okay, but
today that you got something called beginner's luck. We got a whole set of predictions to go down the road here. So that's only one. That is only one. You don't got nothing on me yet. You know got ways to
You my
go.
2 for 2.
So let me see.
You my 2 for 2.
You 2 for 2? Alright, that's fine. That's fine. You got a whole
You know
lot of
what's-
ways to go.
It's called, Rayvon, a
What?
pattern of winning. It's called a pattern of winning.
He's only got a pattern when the pattern develop. So I
what?
ain't got no pattern yet. So
Right
you
now,
know
we
you know
got-
you know gotta start. You know gotta
Yeah.
start.
I had, well, no. We got to start. So because remember, I had the boxing. I did say Deontay Wilder was going to get knocked out.
You ain't had
But,
that. You
but
ain't
you
had
had
that.
no. You
lost
made
some
a
money.
bold prediction. You made a
You
bold
lost some
prediction.
money on
You
that.
say in the fifth round. And you think I'll double that. Look at that.
Okay, I'm gonna get half point. But all right.
Oh, boy. But yes,
Rayvon,
you ready?
let me know,
Yes, I
man.
good, man.
I
You
know
ready?
that Cody was giving you a lot of lit,
Yeah.
a lot of talk and things. So.
Yeah, you know that's when you know what I mean. Get a little win in Sandy. The clock is
Yeah.
good to your head, so
Yeah,
it-
airhead Cody
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
exactly. But just happy to be here. Just hope we have some fun this evening. Ready to get locked
Yeah,
in, ready to talk
definitely.
some basketball. You know how we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, peoples, before we get into this, we're going to explain how you guys can be engaged in our predictions as well, and probably put you up on the scoreboard. Cody right now is 2 for 0. Rayvon and myself are 1 for 2. So that's how that is going so far. Rayvon, let's talk about Ben Simmons, man. What's going on with this guy?
So, Ben Simmons, we back here again. New update. Ben Simmons has declared that he's not mentally ready, prepared to play. So right now he gone to the psychologist, the psychiatrist, whoever, and he's saying that he need to take the time before he get ready to play. But really and truly, I think it's just a case where Ben Simmons is not at all ready to play in front of the fans because then Philly fans is something different. Then Philly fans is people
Mhm.
that this boot and on star players even when they been playing well. So you know the whole situation that Ben Simmons put the team in as a whole, and the supporters of Ben Simmons now become his worst nightmare, his worst enemy. So he got to take some time off. I don't know if he. I think it's a rule just to say that he's there but not playing, because I just feel like he
Mhm.
don't want to play for the team anymore. And this is also another way to escape that, which is not actually like sitting out and losing money. So he can still make his money, but he
Right.
still ain't gonna be playing.
Like Kyrie.
So
Just a
so
different scene altogether.
so
Go ahead, Cody.
what is Dr. Umar said? Dr. Umar said
Hmm.
that you can't psychologize all of them boys on the car and some of them go to sleep for good. Ben Simmons' career gone for good.
Ben Simmons' career ain't going nowhere.
That God.
It
If
is
that
not
boy,
going.
listen to me. If the boy is a problem and he can't shoot, my man, who wants him? You think if he could go around Jimmy Butler without some issue don't in Miami?
And
Or
nah,
he can go
nah,
around
nah, nah,
KD without sort of thing? Or he can go around Steph without sort of
not
thing?
at all.
Come on, man. Who he play for?
I don't
Philadelphia
know,
Hornets.
but they
Because he
got
can only bully LaMelo.
they got teams that can
He,
want him. Like there will be teams that will want him because as I
Yeah.
know he can't shoot, but we'll say that he like you got so many players that come in the NBA. Everybody just got a role, right? And he kind of specialize in a role that he has because he's one of the best defensive players in the league. And if
Mhm.
you're a team that looking for defense, that is one of the best guys that you could ever have to
can't
to
become
to, to
such
boast of the
problems. So.
it comes with problems, yes, but he is a man that's motivated to have a new surrounding, a new situation. I don't see why he should bring more promise to a new situation if he has made it clear that that is what he wants for his career right now. You understand? So I can't say that he should be only leading nobody ain't gonna want it or nothing. So because he is still a great player at the end of the day.
That
Mhm.
boy playing for Shanghai Dragons come next season. I don't care. That's exactly where he going China, man.
It's true.
He's not playing at Adam Silver NBA anymore. Come on.
Man,
Come on.
it's tough, but
No, that's our disgusting behavior. Hello, Doc Rivers was playing coaching basketball.
I don't know. I
I
think
have
from
never I have but have you ever heard Doc Rivers have to kick out a player from practice? Come
nah,
on. You ever
he's
hear
like
Joel Embiid speak badly of somebody yet?
yeah, but the thing
Come on.
about it is, he spoke badly about him, and then at any home opener just a couple of days ago, he was like, Ben Simmons is his brother. He here to talking to the fans. He here to support Ben Simmons, but I just think it was a case to soften the blow for Ben Simmons when he actually
That's
come back to
called
play.
PR.
It's true,
Mhm.
That's called
exactly.
public
Soften the
relations.
blow for the fans, so the fans don't kill you out there, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can think. A man going from saying that he don't care about this man to going to say that seems so scripted to me, you know.
It was. So we figure out the truth. The interview in front when he said, "Man, freak that day."
Yeah, exactly,
No one wants him because
exactly.
this.
Mhm.
It's
Imagine how
very
stinky the attitude had to be when he first come back to the 76ers training. He had the
yeah.
worst
But
attitude.
you see,
Come
the
on,
man
man.
was out there playing with his phone in his pocket and just existing there and just looking so detached from the team, like making
I'll
it
play his
clear
phone
that
in
he
his
don't want to
pocket.
be. Yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
yeah.
scrimmage.
He could have literally see the phone jumping out the man pocket. Literally, I don't know, but I think
He
enough of
wasn't
Ben Simmons
serious
to be
then,
honest.
obviously.
Enough of Ben Simmons.
That's a
Truthfully,
Philly fan that I hearing right now.
who Philly fan?
Enough of Ben
Oh
Simmons.
yeah, that's
You.
what all I'm saying. It's true. Then we'll to be gone right now
Enough of Ben.
So
Yeah, for
looking at the
sure.
chat, someone is asking how we feel about Steph versus the Kings.
versus the Kings.
Yeah, the Kings. That's what we're saying in the chat.
The
I'm
Kings.
not sure. I'm not sure that match good. Is it? Have it?
Like, was it Friday or something? I
You
have
mean
no
you mean
idea.
Steph's match with 45 when he had 25 points in the first quarter, missed no shots.
Um,
I don't think that was
I,
against the King.
oh,
Was that a
oh,
king?
see,
No,
no, I
I
don't
don't
think that
think
was
that was
against the
against.
Kings at all. I think the person in charge is a little bit misguided with that question. Sorry, guys.
Okay. So moving on. We can talk about how the games went this week, but we're gonna visit our predictions from last week first. Talk about that, and then talk about some other games and how some of these other teams are looking right now. So last week we made the prediction between the Nets and Bucks, and this was the rift between the Astro Bros this week, basically, because Rivon and Cody was going at it like you guys saw already. So in my opinion, James Harden wasn't himself, his full self in that game, and I could understand why the Nets kind of lost that game. Right, he wasn't as potent as he could be as a player. as an individual player in
Yeah.
that game. Tell us what you think. I guess caused that whole vibe, I guess, around the Nets and caused James Harden to play the way he did.
I think it was just a simple case of, um, you got some new players coming out of the team, figuring out the team without Kyrie. I know they had some
Hmm.
time in practice, but James Harden is taking on that role of being more of a facilitator, and he's trying to. What I saw him trying to do was actively seek out players to get there, get them shots. But I feel
Hmm.
like in that specific game, you gotta understand that there's a time and place for everything. And I feel like he should have been a little bit more aware of where the game was going, and that it was a time for him to try to get his a little bit more to put the team a little bit above. And when he does that, that will open up the floor a little bit more for the players to get some more shots on their own because he being aggressive, attacking the rim, etc., etc. And
Yeah, fair enough. The
I'm
next one was
unimpressed.
Lakers and Warriors. Unimpressed.
I'm,
Lakers and
unimpressed.
Warriors.
sorry, Hassel, not
Yeah,
to cut you
Yeah.
off
yeah,
or
yeah.
Go ahead.
anything.
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead. No problem.
absolutely unimpressed by the Nets. Yeah. Big. I mean, we all know it's KD. All right, we know that's the best player in the NBA right now. We know. But as a team, as an organization, nah. Come again.
No, but
Nah.
but
Nah.
no, man.
Nah.
I
They
let
never
me
stood a chance
let me let
against
me
the Bucks.
let me make a note about the Bucks. I feel like
Make it.
that ring ceremony just juiced them up, and Giannis was ready to play. Giannis come out in that first quarter and just fire off 30 points, 8 rebounds
Mhm.
in the first quarter. He was just dominant from the start to the finish. Nobody could stop him, and the whole thing about that, the most critical thing is nobody could stop him. The Nets players on defense look confused. Many times I see two people standing next to each other with their hands in the air like
Yeah.
this. Like the Nets defense was not
The
there.
defense was very
Yeah,
gone for
yeah.
sure.
And
So you agree with my point that as a team, it's unimpressive.
it was not an
Yeah.
impressive performance. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But as I said, they can need some time. They can take some time. I don't think that this can be the way that it is all the time. Especially on the
Yeah.
defensive end, they got a lot of work to do. They don't got the big bodies like how the Nets got the big body. The Bucks,
Yeah.
sorry, got the
These
big
Bucks.
bodies. Um,
They actually tried
so
playing big ball in the first quarter,
yeah,
and it didn't work
it
out.
didn't work
Nah.
out. Giannis was just
Obviously.
Can't say.
feasting. Giannis was just
Yeah.
feasting,
Yeah.
really and truly.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's just the beginning of the season. Kudos to you for making the prediction, Cody.
You know how we do it.
And Hansel too, because you did get that one spot on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we can go on to the next one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lakers.
Warriors Lakers.
Lakers versus Warriors. I can just start off by saying it was it was kind of wrong of me to actually think that 360 would have done something special on that night, being the first night after they didn't look that great in the preseason games or anything. Obviously, it's a newbie prediction,
Yeah,
so I take that loss, no worries. But looking at that game and looking at some of the highlights and stuff, they definitely got a lot to figure out with Russell Westbrook on that side because it didn't seem like they had a particular play going for them or anything. It seems like they were trying a lot of things when Westbrook was on the field. So let me know what your thoughts were for that game this week, Rayvon.
well, I think it started with Russell Westbrook really and truly, trying to find
Yeah,
his footing with the Lakers. We see it from coming from the straight from the preseason. It was just like there was no real cohesion, turning over the ball over and over, and
yeah,
there's no way that the Lakers should lose a game with AD and LeBron putting up a combined 67 points. Like that's blasphemous to me. Like I
yeah.
don't see, and it was just a matter of Westbrook just out there shooting bricks, building that wall. Like I don't know, he was just literally like just shooting that playing off ball, and that's not the role that he's usually or has ever been comfortable in. And seeing him
Mhm.
in it was just horrendous. It was just a horrendous sight, really and truly. But I can see that the even though Steph Curry didn't shoot well, he he was he was amazing
Facilitator.
that yeah he was amazing that night. The ball was just zipping around on that court in the half court.
Yeah.
Bielitsa, I don't know if many people know him, but Bielitsa was amazing. One of the bench players on Warriors. He was just amazing with passing and watching. The ball was just going around. They had like 30 assists, so it was just a great all around game. Even though they didn't have the best shooting performance, and that is what
Mhm.
what really trump the Lakers in that first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You know what I gotta say
how
about it? Sorry,
mhm.
Hansel. You know what I
Yeah,
gotta
go
say
ahead, go
about it
ahead.
though? Westbrook never belonged on the Lakers.
I
He
agree.
he
True.
should not be at the organization. I don't understand why that trade was ever made to begin with.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit anywhere. You
Mhm.
can't expect to play with four big players at that point. Brody's not going to last long at the Lakers. I'm telling you that. Then no,
I,
it's not.
I
I
think
can't.
we should not call it 360 right now because they're in full circle yet.
Yeah.
I think they're more like
It's true.
436
It's true.
right now.
It's
uh,
true.
yeah,
But
I mean,
So sorry, Hassel. Just in the chat,
mhm.
we have a chat saying Lakers was not cuz, so he wasn't
goes.
the problem then.
Hmm.
He was still the problem,
I don't
cat.
really know what
He was still the
that.
problem.
That's a
Right?
wild take. That is a wild take. I don't
That's
really
a
know what
horrendous thing. I can't believe this chat. Oh my!
that.
Come back with better responses, chat.
Exactly. Exactly. That's. But on that note, though, the plus side to that is we can say compared to the Lakers, the Wizards are 2-0. After that trade, so there are some positive to that because right now the Lakers are 0-2 and the Wizards are 2-0. Sorry, and I guess that just speaks volumes about the trade so far. But we'll
Mhm.
see as it goes. I personally believe it's not going to be an easy road. I think they can struggle for these first 2 weeks to really get into a rhythm, and I don't even know if they will get into a rhythm. But you can't have Russell Westbrook shooting so many trees, and when I tell you the thing hitting the side of the backboard, the thing wedging in the, oh my god, it's just disgusting. He just,
It's like that
I,
street ball you play
exactly.
on the side with your boys.
I don't know. It was atrocious, but
Play like me
Yeah.
on the hard court for the Sunday, man. I don't understand that either.
professional basketball player. Anyway,
Yeah.
They had a fella that just ran wrong and scored no points, no rebounds, no assists
yeah, that was
for
the
the
last
Lakers.
that was the last game
That was,
everybody
uh,
he pulled out Danny Green 2.0. Danny Green be
uh,
out there doing cardio up on a regular like jeez. Danny
so
Green is more
Lakers,
for that.
I
Hmm.
mean, if Lakers is a place for weight loss journey, I am ready
You
and
go
raring to go, my boys.
oh get
I like South Beach, you know. I could do South Beach. No, sorry, not South Beach. I could do LA. Sorry,
it's
I'm
true.
pretty comfortable there.
Just
uh,
hot days, that's all, and that's what we
Yeah,
like.
I'll be accustomed to, man.
it's true.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Other games went on during the week. We saw a lot of teams playing good ball. I have to say, some of the teams that I saw that looked good were Heat and Bulls, and
Woo.
somewhat Clippers.
Nah,
They look pretty decent on the court as well. No, no, no.
Mm,
In all honesty, like from what I saw, the Clippers look pretty good. They didn't look too shabby. Well, they didn't look as shabby as Lakers. Let's say that.
yeah, trash ass team.
um,
Yeah, I think regarding the Bulls, for me, Zach
Yeah.
Levine and Lonzo Ball looking like a deadly combination in my opinion right now. I think that has a good
Mhm.
young team there that coming up. I can see who it was DeRozan that's supposed to play
yeah, there was
DeRozan
Yeah.
as well.
There was some-
Yeah, I think that there's a team to
Isn't
watch.
Caruso on Bulls as well?
yeah
Yeah,
Caruso.
so I think
He also
this
played
is
pretty well
definitely
this week. So yeah, Bulls looking deadly actually.
looking like a dark horse team
Oh,
earlier clock.
that's funny.
They get
All the Lakers past contributors out there getting some wins with the new teams. Wonder
yeah.
how LeBron feels
Yeah.
about
Horrible, probably. I don't know.
that. But
Another team that looking good too was Toronto. Toronto versus Celtics was crazy. That guy,
Scotty
Scotty
Barnes,
Barnes,
Scotty
man.
Barnes.
Oh,
I've been watching him. I've been seeing him, and he's been looking great to start of the season. Even in the preseason, he looks like one of those
yeah,
guys, like that could do it all. Rebounds, assists. I guess he got some ways to come on the scoring. But he's
yeah,
big. He got that NBA body. He
yeah.
looks really good. He looks comfortable there on the court.
And he confident
Interested.
too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly. He
man
looks.
shooting from anywhere and
It's
just
true.
banging them in for sure.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
so
No, no, no.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Now you go, Cody.
Nothing. No, I was gonna say like no that he had no mention the Celtics. I can't believe we didn't mention the Celtics versus next game. The double overtime.
Yes, I got
Mhm.
as the most outstanding game of the week because that was absolutely bonkers. That was insane.
Yeah.
the shot making
Yeah,
in that game, well, I pointed that out, but the shot making in that game was phenomenal. Besides Jason Tatum, let me put that out there because he was absolutely he was freezing out there. I
trash.
don't know,
Mhm.
I don't know. But Jalen Brown come out the gates hot. He had a hot 25 in the first
Yeah,
quarter or in the first half. I
quarter.
think it was. He was. I think he had 20 in the first quarter. I was like, yo, this man come out on a mission. And then in the overtime, he was sensational. He hit some. He hit a big clutch three, like basically from the logo, Steph Curry
It's
range.
true.
And
Mhm.
it had me like, what is this game? every time, every time they score, the Knicks score. Every time the Knicks score, the Celtics score. That was a great opener for at the Garden. The Knicks fans were going well, and it was an amazing atmosphere, I should say, for
Yeah,
one of the first games of the season, really and truly.
I
Um,
know. I know. Knicks are 2-0
2-0, yeah.
coming in into the season. A trash ass team. Let's be real, but
Nah,
Julius
nah,
Randle. I
Cody
said it.
always
no,
like.
no.
I got beef with the Knicks. I got beef with the Knicks fans. They
Yeah,
come at
he
me.
got personal. He got personal
I got yeah, I
personal
got
reasoning.
personal vendetta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
personal vendetta against the Knicks.
I
But
mean they look decent, but yeah, they're New York fans. I watching one. I watching one because as soon as I slip up, I did.
but but yeah, I think that game was telling the season may go. I know Jason Tatum started out cool, but he's one of those players that takes a little while to warm up. I find even with the last season, I felt like he took a little while to get into rhythm. I know
Yeah,
this season again, he looks to be starting out a little bit cool. So he probably going on throughout these things. He's probably going to be better, but um, it's something to watch. Something to watch because I think Jalen Brown has been stepping up and been taking the mantle as one of the, I guess, the leader of the team until Tatum gets his footing right.
yeah.
But it was impressive to see, especially given the fact Jalen Brown had no come off of having COVID and come and drop a career high of 46 points. Like that was a spectacular sight.
Wonderful.
It's true.
Oh, okay. So somebody's in chat is asking, anybody know how Utah is doing? They always just magically appear up here. They're currently 2-0.
Um,
So I
I,
don't know. We to me to just appear because they made the Jazz typically doing
yeah.
really well on regular seasons,
Wait,
successively. No, so
I could make a little comment on that. I could just say that Rudy Gobert is playing some great basketball right now. We know that he's not, a big um, point scorer, but his impact is always a positive one most of the time.
yeah,
He's been getting them boards. He's been playing some great defense, and he just been that anchor for the team right now so far in the first two games. Um,
yeah.
Donovan Mitchell on the other hand still trying to get some footing. He hasn't he scored his points but hasn't been efficient. But the other players on the team making up being efficient and what's not. So he'll get his rhythm. They'll probably want to be one of the top two seeds at the end of the season anyway.
Yeah.
So I think they're pretty in a pretty good spot.
And they got Donovan Mitchell to come good
Yeah,
later on in the season. I have
yeah,
no doubt about
yeah.
that. That
It's
boy
true.
is talented.
Yeah, very much so.
Donovan Mitchell, if you ever watched this, you're a talented basketball player.
Man, doing some shout outs. So Rayvon, you spoke about your most outstanding game for the week being Celtics versus Knicks.
Yeah,
Um, who's your most outstanding player?
Taylor Buckets Hero. That's where you calling him from now.
Ah, the same guy that you
Taylor
were
Hero.
giving a little heat to,
Yeah, yeah,
pun
yeah,
intended.
yeah, man. I see you. I see you. As I said, in the last stream, I have him as one of the breakout players, possibly winning the sixth man of the year. He has been carrying the Heat's offense for the first two games so far. The
He's been
first,
killing it on the
yeah,
shots.
the
That's no lie.
and I watch the games and his energy on the court just is like kind of infectious. He like
Yeah,
moving without the ball and pick and roll, finding guys on the passes in the pocket. He's been playing point
yeah.
guard too, so he's been tasked with a lot of usage, and I like that role for him.
Hmm.
As he came into the league, because he had that kind of air about him. He got that swagger about
Yeah,
him, and I
he
love
was
to see how he.
confident, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You know the tier that
He
he took.
was,
I still don't think he's in
yeah.
the conversation as
I
Luca
mean,
and Trey,
time,
but
yeah, time got to pass
yeah,
first. He got to make consistent numbers and everything
exactly.
in order for people to put him at
Yeah,
that level. But So far, so good, man. The
Yeah,
guy's been playing some good basketball.
yeah, and he's one of those guys that could go on both extremes real fast. He's really up and down.
Yeah.
But the first two games he really came out with a kick. 28,
Mhm.
27 in the first game, and I think he had 30 last game. They lost it in the second game. Sorry, they lost it, but he still put out that performance that I guess we're hoping that we see from him more frequently this season.
So,
Right.
so that quote that he had where you said that he should be respected more, I put in name with Jim Mormon and then you agree?
Definitely not. I
Not yet, not
Not
yet.
yet.
Give it time.
He still got time to give, but
Yeah.
I got to commend him man for his bucket getting ability, because it's something that I believe the Heat will need, and they got a player that could do it. So he just got to be
Yeah.
consistent, and then maybe some people may mention him, not me, but some people may mention him in that
I hear
category.
I hear a hater.
No hater, no hater. Just
Oh
keeping a
yeah.
spade a spade.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You're not that good, bro. That's coming here for Astro Bruins.
From Ray, not from Astro Bro.
That's right. That is
Um,
right.
so on that note, a comedy. Was there funny comment for the week, Rayvon? I know that you mentioned that you had one, so
Right. There was a quote from Anthony Edwards. He has to be the funniest person in the league at this point. Um, so in the first game, Timberwolves played against the oh boy, it's slipping my mind already. Timberwolves played against the Rockets, the lowly Rockets. We all know the
Yeah.
Rockets is going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of wins at the end of the season. The bucket is going to be full in terms of losses, but um, he was going in the play and he was like telling the ref give it a timeout. He was telling the coach on the other team give him a timeout because he's hot. I was like, this man is something different. He's hot. Like really? Come on. No one has more confidence than Anthony Edwards, I believe, in this league.
Mhm.
The man is just a comedian at heart. Every time there's some funny quote that comes up with him and he's just making some some scenario more jovial or more sporty than it really is.
You said.
Yeah. I mean, you always need that kind of spirit in
Yeah,
your team, you know.
for
That
sure.
that would definitely help in the long run, especially when things not going that great.
Yeah,
You can still get your teammates up to a certain energy level where they're able to play at their potential best,
yeah,
in my opinion. So that's always a good attitude to have on the court and to
yeah,
have on your bench.
yeah, for sure. Great teammates to have.
Yeah, for sure. So right now, people, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more NBA predictions. This time, we're going to predict between Sixers versus the Knicks, as well as Dallas versus the Nuggets. So stay tuned for that, people, and thank you so much for joining. right, peoples, welcome back. We are going to jump right into our predictions for the Sixers versus Knicks game. I got Knicks to win, to be honest. Right one, Cody.
Uh,
I would. Oh, you do it.
wait. Right now, I can pick the Knicks. A little bit controversial, but what I would say, I feel as though Embiid has yet to dominate in the game, and given the Guardian and given the reputation that he has for bringing out the best of the players, I think he will have a monster night. But I feel like the Knicks will still edge out in the win at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. All right,
After you, Cody.
coach.
Knicks ain't ever winning nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you just hating.
And I am a hater, yes, but not in this regard. They just ain't they don't have it. Julius Randle is going to have an off night. I don't think he's going to get past the defense of the 76ers. I think he's going to be shut down for the majority of the night, and the Knicks are going to lose. I don't think it'll be a closer affair than I would want it to be, but the 76ers are going to come on top for sure.
You want to put points on it?
10. We win by 10.
Sixers by 10. Right one. You want to put points on yours?
I say the Knicks. I would say the Knicks by 4.
Close game.
Yeah.
Well, I really don't want to put points on mine. I mean,
Hey, hold on. I want to bring the points.
your mic, right one. I think it went out again.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm gonna pick. I can pick Knicks by 6 or 5. Knicks by 6.
All right.
Yeah, Knicks by 6. Dallas versus Nuggets.
Okay. Let me start off with this for the Dallas versus. I want to talk about Dallas first. So from the last show, I had skepticism about Jason Kidd as the Dallas new coach. So far, the offense has looked choppy, out of rhythm. Kristaps Porzingis has been, I guess, trying to get back to him old self, but it has not been pretty, really and truly. He's a 7-3 player that can't back down a boy. In the first game that they played against the Hawks, we didn't really have a mention of it here, but they played against the Hawks in their first game, and the Hawks just totally destroyed them. It was just very embarrassing. Luka looked kind of disengaged. He was just like, at some points in the game, he was just giving Porzingis the ball to essentially just do what he wanted to do, not out to trying to make the best play for the team. And that's coming from the stories that we've been hearing about the fact that Porzingis wants to have to get back in that form, and he want to take more mid-range shots and what's not. And last year, when they had the other coach, Rick Carlisle, he would have stopped Porzingis from doing all that because he wasn't efficient at it, which is only fair. As a coach, you gotta do what's best for the team, and if you're not contributing to what's best for the team, then you gotta adjust the game to suit what would be best for the team. But so far, Porzingis has looked offensively, I should say, he has looked atrocious, really and truly, and he's stopping the flow of the offense. The ball is sticking in him. He's just putting out some wild shots, and it is not going well whatsoever for me. They did pull out a win last night, I think it was. Luka had 27 or 29 points, 12 assists, typical Luka fashion. I didn't really get to watch that game, but I presume it was just a case where Luka just said frig this, and took over and carried the Mavs to victory. But as it relates to my prediction, I got the Nuggets winning. I think the Nuggets has a great team, a great core. They're missing Jamal Murray, but the team that they have there right now with Michael Porter Jr. and Jokic, they are going to be bomb. Jokic and his unorthodox selves can find some way to make me laugh when I watch the game because he's just score some stuff and he's just get buckets and in some strange ways that you would never think that you would see, and he's a wizard on the passing. I saw him make a pass the other day that just fly by two defenders that even caught Michael Porter Jr. off guard. Like the ball, he didn't even realize that it was coming. The ball actually just hit his leg, and that's how he realized that it was there for him to catch. It was like crazy. So there's always some highlights with the reigning MVP. Looking to see how he can add to the performance from last year. So far he's looking great.
Okay, so Nuggets. Go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, I'll keep mine a bit more brief now, right? But I definitely have the Nuggets winning. I take Luka is going to go off. on that night, but I don't think it's really enough. I think Porzingis is going to have an off night on that night, and that's exactly why the Nuggets are going to come up with the victory. Definitely.
Cool.
So
The guest is
unfortunately,
a
but unfortunately, I have to side with Ray Vaughn on this one. So
Right, that music got that
I
music
feel
got
a
win.
real
That music got win. You think that's what it is? That means that's an
I
automatic W.
I feel real terrible about this one. I feel nervous.
He's been nervous.
I mean, you could always play the other side. There's,
Yeah.
there's nothing
Can
there's
always
nothing stopping you
switch.
from doing that.
No.
Yeah. Go against the grain. Can't go
It's
wrong
true.
when you go against the grain. I mean, pain might come behind it, but for my prediction, I can just go based off what you guys said because I didn't watch any of those teams
Yeah.
play this week or anything. Didn't see any preseasons or any highlights for these guys playing. So I think it's going to be a 3-for-3 Nugget prediction from the Astro Bros. If you guys have other predictions, let us know. And Raymond, talk a little bit more about how the fans could get involved in making predictions.
Okay, so this evening, if you're not already following the Instagram page, just go onto Instagram, type in Hashtag Bros, and you'll see our page there. Hit the follow button. I'm going to be posting a graphic on the stories that you could screenshot, and you could make your predictions for the NBA standings for this season. I did make a post a couple days ago about my own personal predictions for how the standings are going to play out at the end of the season. So I give you, our viewers, an opportunity to do that yourself, and you can just repost it, tag us in the post, and we'll take a look, and we'll talk about it on our next stream. So look forward to all of our viewers to give it a shot. Think about it a little bit. You could cheat and look on mine if you want, and
Why would you do that? Why would you tell people to do that?
cheat and look on mine for a little, for a little bit, and we'll see what you got, and we'll have a great discussion about it.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I'll put in mind if you want to be in the winner's circle for once in your life.
You trying to say the people losers already?
No man,
I say we must pick losers. So
Nope.
if you want to be on the if you want to be on the winner's circle, then you will look at mine. You'll definitely just copy all your answers. I'll give cheat sheet.
oh
could
whoa.
peek. Take
He's
a
not
peek.
saying. This is the thing. Not, he even saying Pete. He's saying he can give you a sheet. Look at that
Cheat.
blasphemy, right? Blasphemy
Handouts.
for sure.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on into some EPL news. People,
Oh, yes,
English
let's
Premier
talk
League.
about it.
ah,
Let's
Golly.
talk about it.
this afternoon was interesting. It was rather interesting to see the news that Manchester United got a handful of goals, like literally a handful, 5 goals in them by Liverpool.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Mohamed Salah, that guy is just an incredible player in my. Like, I put him high up in the ranks in my books of players this season.
Give,
This
give,
guy is incredible.
give us a number. Top 5, top 1, top 2.
Top 10 for now. Top 10 for now.
Top 10. That's being
Ooh,
modest.
that's very conservative.
Yes, exactly.
Top 10 for now. Top 10 for now.
Give us your
But-
top 3 players in the EPL right now. Top 3 players. No specific order. Just top 3.
All right. Harry Kane got to be up there. Honestly, man, I can be honest with you. I can be honest with you, cause you put me on the spot, right? I gotta be honest with you. I don't know who to put in top 3. I can just be honest.
So
With
you
you.
want-
I
so
don't
you-
know.
So you want to put Salah in the top 3, given the performance that he's been having so far.
He could go in the top 3, but I honestly I say the top 10 because I haven't been following all the teams to say, well, all right, they got some players up, but he could possibly be in the top 3 for all I know, honestly. But
Let me
I
give you
can't
modest.
give a more
Let me give-
accurate. Go ahead, Cody. Go ahead.
I can give you the most hot take you could possibly get right now. And I
Mhm.
know this will make some people in the chat very happy. Salah over Messi right now.
Oh,
Salah
Salah hotter than Messi right now.
In this present moment, I would have Salah waiting before Lionel Messi. Yeah. And to be honest with you, he's probably the best player in the Premier right now. He has been consistently one of the best players in the Premier over the last 4-5 seasons.
Yeah.
So
I mean, his goals today were on point.
Exquisite.
And
so it's so to have him, to not even have him say as top 3, to say top 10 was blasphemy in my opinion. that was pretty well. But if you are really round out top 3, you have Mo Salah. You cannot have a top 3 with Cristiano Ronaldo, no matter what age he is. He could be 12, he could be 18, he could be 36. That boy is the elite talent. And then probably Harry Kane. But yeah. And speaking about the game, though, United poor as usual. As usual. Because
but
I think
Liverpool not ball though. Liverpool not some serious ball around Man U defense. Yeah. It's like they bred them up so well. The touches that went on at the top of the 18 was crazy. So I would go more give Liverpool the benefit of the doubt in saying that Liverpool was greater than Manchester United, so that them get the props that them deserve for playing like they did. Because saying that Man U was sport is like saying Liverpool was normal and them just walk through. But Liverpool played some crazy football.
Liverpool played great, but they didn't play like exceptional. They didn't play out of their mind. They played the standard of Liverpool. They didn't play better than how they normally play. So I will go to say that they went to an extra level today against Man U. Man U were poor. They were not structured correctly. The changes that were made were not effective. And then the manager just was clueless once again. So as a rival fan, keep that manager in check. Keep him employed. I would always want him to be manager of Manchester United, because Manchester United would never be a threat with him at the helm. So say that. Keep him. Give him extension. Give him 3 more years. I don't care.
We hear fans left. Fans left the game.
Imagine this. You got to remember, this is the most heated rivalry in the Premier League, Liverpool and Manchester United. They were equal on number of trophies for a number of years, and then it would have been edged by Man United. So with all the history and stuff, and then to play the game at Manchester United, and then to be done for love in the first half. Come on, man. That's it's really disheartening as a thank God on a Man U fan. It's very disheartening as a Manchester United fan. Yeah, to have to come to that, especially if you were accustomed at least being in the game. They were never in the game. Did they have a sniff, especially in the first half? And that's don't take the manager and poor team selection and poor setup and then poor guidance. Keep him.
Keep him. I like that, but back to saying what I really want to get across is that even though you might not think Liverpool played exceptional, like oh my God, mind blown. In order for that to happen, Man U would have had to be better, right? In order to give Liverpool that exceptional credit. But what I'm saying is that the build up to the plays, the balls that they played, the goals that were scored. I mean, Salah slot home a near post along the ground, like between the keeper and the post, close. Yeah. And that was super accurate in my opinion. That boy got a crazy left foot. He scored on the right foot today as well. So, I mean, I can give Liverpool the props. I can just say Liverpool played great football today. And Man U, like you said, wasn't the best, but them deserve to get 5 in them for sure. So, that's that.
But Man U has been on a poor run as of late too. So to me, if I were a Man U fan, I would be very concerned at this point. Because I think that their European Champions League would be in a little bit of doubt. And then they're standing, like 5th, I believe, in the table or something like that. Just triple check. So they're actually 6th on the table. 7th in the table. So that is to be that far behind this early in the title race. That's concerning, especially for a team with so much talent, so many stars. Bought Jadon Sancho for $96 million. Got Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, come on, you have too much talent to be this far behind. Yeah. It's very concerning.
having a bunch of talent and no team is not
Yeah,
good
yeah,
either way. So them gonna find some way to get that talent in a cohesive form in order to perform well and to at least gain some credit. I feel like Manu drifting towards the bike that Arsenal in right now, and
right.
I think Arsenal fans will be happy for some of the heat to come off of them for a little bit and then could share it with Manchester United fans for sure,
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
banter clubs. Yep.
Yeah. Um, in other football news, we had Leicester versus Brentford. Yo, Yuri Tielemans' strike was exquisite today. He hit
Gorgeous.
one from outside the 18-yard box, right? Top bins. My
Rotate.
God. My God. If you guys didn't see it, just go watch those highlights. Yo,
Okay.
that boy had a exquisite hit, and it was lovely to see, to be honest. Did you see that one, Cody? I don't know if you saw that.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see it. I thought we
Yeah.
would have the highlights here, but
Yeah.
YouTube
Oh,
copyright straight us
yeah.
the
Exactly. It
last
was,
time.
but it was just about to
Right
Your
say
here, I'll
mic
mute
is
again.
for the
off
net.
for God.
YouTube.
Man's
It was
having
a
some technical
yeah.
difficulties.
Sorry. I was
Yeah, no
about to say
problem.
that for the next time we gonna make sure that we get these highlights so that when we talking about them, we could do it the
Mhm.
right way so that we don't get straight like last time.
Copyright, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So that we could let the viewers see what we're talking about in real time if they haven't seen it before. So guys, we're
Yeah.
gonna work on that for you. Come in for the next stream. You should be able to get the highlights here lined up so that you could read them with us. You could react to them with us if you haven't seen them before. So look out for that.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Chelsea is in form. I ain't gonna lie. They put 7 in in
That no touch.
Norwich.
That no touchy soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, man.
7.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
so
Cody. Because you know that's
uh,
your team, so
yeah, we could talk about this all day, guys.
man wear the
That was
colors
best.
too. Man wear the home colors.
We
Always
bleed
repping.
blue. Yeah. So yeah, it was just an outstanding performance. It was really just a clinic from Chelsea at that point. Mason Mount scoring a hat trick. Um, some members that haven't gotten a lot of playing time, like Callum Hudson-Odoi scoring as well. Then you wing backs as well scoring. Rich James and Ben Chilwell as of late. He's in form. 4 goals in 4 games. That left foot's looking sweeter and sweeter as the days go by. Probably not Salah like, but not too far off.
Every man.
So yeah, Chelsea just looking really informed now. I think that we had a real early hard run of games early in the season because we had played Liverpool and City and Juventus, etc. early in the season. And to come out on top of that and still be top of the Premier League throughout that hard run, and now we have an easier run of games coming up. So I really don't see how you let that slip. But Man City and Liverpool are hot on our heels, but those are
Yeah.
the ones that are concerned.
I think
Arsenal and
Liverpool
Man U.
has the same amount of points right now. I think
No,
so.
so well, no.
City
Chelsea has 22, Liverpool has 21, and Man City
21.
has
Yeah.
20 right now.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and then to round out top
So
four,
Liverpool's close.
West Ham is 17. Yeah, so those are the two teams of concern, I guess, for Chelsea, but we are pretty good confident in our abilities to take home the league this year.
Nice.
Shouldn't have any issues.
Speaking of West Ham, though, the upset. West
Yeah.
Ham cut off the Spurs in a 1-0 victory.
Yeah, so I don't see how that's much of an upset these days. West Ham has consistently been in like the top four, top six now. So to
Mhm.
see the job David Moyes has done for that team, and to see them reaching the heights that they have been, they're kind of like less in that space where they're like challenging for Champions League, but more of a Europa League sort of team. So it's not really surprising that Spurs has been on a downward trajectory, for the last 2-3 seasons, especially since Poch has left.
Great. Well, there you have it, peoples. That's what we got for EPL. If you got some other games that you want us to talk about in the next live, please let us know.
Well,
You can follow us on the. Go ahead.
yeah. When you talk about next games, we also had El Clasico today. We could never forget my Real Madrid versus Barcelona. That was a big game of La Liga. Barca offered nothing. Anything it's time for Ronald Koeman to go. looks clueless. They didn't create a lot of shots on target or anything like that. Real Madrid kind of had an easy time. Um, right, sorry, the score in last minute of the game. Sorry, I forgot about that. So it ended 2-1. But they
Mhm.
offered nothing for literally 90 minutes. So I mean, come on. I think if you're a team that has Memphis to play as your talisman, you're going to struggle. Mayu realized that a couple years ago when they had Memphis playing the next CR7, and then he
Mhm.
failed. He's not of that caliber. He should not be a leader of a team.
Mhm.
They need a new solution and they need to find it quick because
Yeah.
this is not going to go well for them this season.
Who are the faces for El Clasico this year? Because I know Ronaldo and Messi were the faces for a
Yeah,
long time.
so El Clasico was much more subdued than we would have had in previous seasons because we would
Mhm.
have the stars, the Real Galacticos. But this year, I think we're already seeing the rise of Vinicius Jr. And then Ansu Fati as well. I don't think two of those were the real stars. And Vinicius Jr. was exquisite today again on left wing. David Alaba also had a solid time at the
David.
back. David
Mhm.
Alaba. But yeah. um, so yeah, Vinicius and Ansu Fati would really be the two stars coming out of the El Clasico in the coming seasons.
Nice. Um, we're gonna move to F1 because this this weekend F1 was crazy. F1 was so interesting. I don't know how much of you guys who follow this channel also follow F1, but F1 was hype. We had some epic action in the qualifying yesterday it was on Saturday. Max Verstappen crazy edged out Lewis Hamilton by like 2 times of a second in his
His,
last qualifying run. Go ahead.
his eternal rival.
Yeah. Like this boy is like so like he's so good. Is is unbelievable. He's so good. I was having this chat with a workmate of mine, and I was wondering if these new kids on the block are so good because like this is the only car they've driven. There are other names inside F1 that have a good reputation, right? Like they're solid drivers, but it seems like these new kids on the block that have only been with one manufacturer or one team so far, it's been killing it. You got Lando Norris, who's also been doing well. Like he was so unlucky in the Turkish Grand Prix. Like he lost because of rain close to the end, and he refused to pit. Then the rain came down hard. He was still on slick tires, which are like hard compound tires. Ended up spinning out. Lewis Hamilton pitted and passed him, so he missed out on his first victory. But I mean, these kids are really ripping it up on the track, and it's crazy to see Max giving Lewis Hamilton a good run. He was 6 points ahead of Lewis coming into this race in the US Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. He won, so he got 25 points. Lewis came in second with 18. So I'm still yet to see the highlights because the race actually started a little bit late compared to the stream. And unfortunately, I don't have any means to watch it live. But man, it was crazy. But I just want to go back to the qualifying because qualifying was very interesting. We had so for those who don't know, the each team has two drivers, and the contenders for the title right now are Mercedes, Petronas Mercedes, which Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas drive for, and Red Bull, which Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez from Mexico drive for. And it was crazy because at the end of qualifying, we had Max Verstappen leading by 2 tenths. Then we had Lewis Hamilton coming in second. So that's one and two. Then we had Sergio Perez. Then we had Valtteri Bottas at the beginning, but Valtteri Bottas later got a penalty from qualifying, and he started in like ninth or something like that. However, having that close rivalry going on, where you got Red Bull, Mercedes, Red Bull, Mercedes, and then in 5 and 6 you had both Ferrari drivers, and then you had I think 6 and 7 you had both McLaren drivers. So is like really close between
Competition
these
type.
guys,
Yeah.
and yeah, some heavy competition going on, and it's just amazing to see, to be honest. Because in qualifying, what happens is that I think you have like 2 laps or so, 2 fast laps to make. First lap, you had Sergio Perez in the lead, and then Lewis Hamilton took that from him. Then Max Verstappen took that from Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton took it back, or something like that, and then eventually Max Verstappen got it. So it was crazy back and forth going on. And if you think about the time that these guys are apart, 2 tenths of a second, I think some guys were like 600ths of a second apart. That's crazy.
That's
That's
very.
like
What we
that's not
know
even a snap of the
it's true.
finger, yo.
Even like in sport and
I
athletics
think
and
Like
you're
what's not.
muted
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Sorry.
We gotta put a meme on you.
I guess so. Couple
Yeah,
of
go
women
ahead.
or something. But
Mhm.
no, I just think that in sports it is just but coming back to the rivalry that's happening, all rivalries made for great sports.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
from a basketball
rivals make
perspective,
rivals great.
yeah, and that too.
Yeah.
From a basketball perspective, Lakers. I mean, the Warriors versus the Cavaliers. That was great for the NBA. That's when NBA was at its peak. That's when everybody was buzzing about the NBA and what's not.
Yeah.
You realize that from the time those things fall off, you get a lot of people less interested because you don't got the same persons coming back over and over again. For a
Mhm.
hardcore fan like me, it's a little bit repetitive. You want to see something different, but for the general person,
Exactly.
like that's what makes it fun for them. So seeing this
Mhm.
rival in the F1 is something that is probably going to boost the reception of the F1
I think
worldwide.
that that's what's happening.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
for
I
sure.
actually think that that's what's happening. The fact that Max is able to drive the way he does, like there are 2 types of drivers: reactive drivers and drivers that try to predict what's going to happen and put the car in a position in order to, I guess, get the best out of their cornering speed and what's not, right? And Max is one that does the latter. He doesn't react to what's going on. He makes sure that he puts his car in a position where he can get the best out of the turn, make the turn shorter. Because obviously, if you make the turn shorter than is, then you have less time around the track. But that boy is phenomenal when it comes to the racing, and it's good to see the back and forth. It's good to see the rivalry. I know him and Lewis Hamilton crashed in Italy at Monza together, and both of them were out. But these were the 2 championship contenders, like fighters, and both of them crashed out. Max ended up on top of Lewis Hamilton. It was a spectacle. So seeing this is actually good for F1. I think F1 is going to have a lot more followers coming in, especially with the new series where people get to see the inside of F1 and what's going on with the drivers and the teams and what's coming up next. You got big hitters like Lawrence Stroll coming in. He owns Aston Martin, Mercedes now, and he's trying to, like, they're developing this new campus that their team can work on and work on their cars and everything. So they have a project coming up, and people are actually looking at this team to do well, to contend. So good good things for F1 coming up for sure, for sure. But we got to see what's going to happen next in Mexico. In Mexico, that's Sergio Perez's home home race. And he's racing for Red Bull, like I said. So hopefully he can do well again. But this week, I think 1, 2, and 3 was Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and Sergio Perez. And I think Charles Leclerc came fourth, and Daniel Ricciardo came fifth. That Daniel Ricciardo is a Australian driver, moved to McLaren just this year, so he's doing well. He's been struggling with the car a little bit, but so far, I think he's getting better and stuff like that. So big things for F1 people. So tune in, and I hope you guys follow up.
So
Yeah, for sure, man. I
Yeah.
know where exactly would we be able to watch the things legitimately.
ESPN.
Legitimately.
well, live, obviously, those are things you got to pay for.
Oh, okay.
But
But we do show on
you can follow
ESPN now.
F1. Yeah. you can follow F1 on F1's website.
Yeah,
Can't remember exactly what it is, like word for word, but
that's
F1
F1.com.
has, yeah, probably something like that. So you can follow that. You can also watch some YouTube clips. Um, this is one sport I think that's really good at exposing the participants, the drivers. There's only 20 drivers that drive in F1, so they're the 20 best drivers in the world right now, and it's good to see the interaction between drivers, between teams, and that kind of stuff, and I get a better sense of who they are as drivers. And I think that's one thing that's very important in sports. Like when fans get a certain connection or a certain insight to people um, performing, then it's like it's a greater connection. So they tend to want to watch more. They're a little bit more interested, and with social media and all these other
Yeah,
things,
interested in the person
yeah,
or the
yeah,
story that's behind the person.
exactly,
That's
yeah,
all. Yeah,
exactly.
that's just sports in general. A lot of people
Sure.
connect with people, especially when they find out what is the path and what to get to where they are at the moment.
Hmm.
So that
And
hits
the
home.
struggles and
Yeah,
everything. Yeah,
correct.
it makes for a better experience, I guess, as a viewer, as a fan. So yeah, big things in F1. That's all I have to say. Big things in F1. So we don't have much more to talk about today, but we're gonna just touch on some boxing before we leave you guys to have an awesome week ahead. Um, so I think Shakur Stevenson won the WBO 130-pound class last night. Definitely dominated his opponent. I don't know why his name is slipping me right now. I should have written it down. But yeah, he dominated his opponent, and now he's champion. Did very well, I must say. He's a young upcoming star. Like he's another kind of Javante Davis type fighter. Like he's hot and he's coming up. So
From here?
definitely, pardon,
From here?
from the states.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely look out for him. Um, Terrence Bud Crawford made some comments about his fight between him and Sean Porter. He made mention that Sean Porter again is a dog fighter. He comes in there, he do anything to win. He can box, he can brawl, he can do it all, and he's just going to be on the lookout for that.
Sounds
He
like he
also
should be in the
said
cage.
possibly. I don't know that he's gonna make that move though. Boxers tend to stay in their lanes. um, he also said that like he gave Sean Porter credit basically saying that Sean Porter is a good fighter. He fought with the best. Like he fought with almost everyone except for Manny Pacquiao. So he definitely has a lot of experience in the ring. And like I said, he'd do anything to win. So he did acknowledge that. But he said if the knockout is there, he'd go for it. We know Terrence don't really care about the hype of knockouts. Terrence is a classic boxer. Hit and not be hit. That's his style. But if it's there, he said he'd go for it. So it's just a little insight into that fight and what's to come. So that's it for me, and that's it for boxing. I don't know if you guys have anything else you guys
Um,
want to mention.
yeah, we just had a message in the chat about the Nets versus the
Hmm.
Hornets game that just happened, just ended. Was an early game today, started at 4. And the Nets with another L again. After KD put up what he's saying here as 38 points. Um,
Sheesh,
What we say?
looking at the
What we?
box score,
that's sad though.
Harden did get us his shots though, but I guess he wasn't as efficient as he should have been. He only scored 15 points. Yeah, the rest of the team was kind
Yeah,
of
that's not
struggling.
typical Harden.
Yeah, but as I say, I just feel as though he's trying to find his role, how he could execute the role that he has now,
Hmm.
given the players that he has. So it's probably going to take a little time. I think he's going to be fine. But KD is there and he's ready. He's waiting for the team to come along. So the rest of the next team, if you're listening to this, come along, come along. Um,
No waste then.
just a comment on the Hornets and how they're playing. Miles Bridges been playing.
Bridges
Hmm.
been playing exceptional. He had 32 points tonight. He got to the foul line a lot. Had 12 free throws tonight. Made 11 of them, so that's great production from him. Lamelo, the star boy, he was pretty okay. Had 18 points, with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. I guess a little bit not pedestrian, but a little bit quiet for what he would have started the gates with. In the first game, maybe 31 point, almost triple double. He had nine rebounds, 8 assists. Um, so good to see the Hornets on an upward trajectory. Um, I think they're kind of a sleeper team going into the season. I have them to make the plan on the predictions on the Instagram post. Don't forget to check it out. Um, Everyone that's watching right now, and
Mhm.
don't forget to make your predictions after the stream. You're gonna put up predictions for the NBA. Just another note to some of the other games that are coming up tonight in the NBA. I want to look out for. I think this is what the person might have been mentioning um, previously. Uh, just look out for the Sacramento versus the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis versus the Lakers tonight. Sacramento at 9, Memphis and the Lakers at 9:30. Should be two great games.
Steph dropping 40. I call it
I
here.
I
No,
I
put the prediction. Bring it. I want with
I,
points. That boy scored 40.
well, I can agree with you. I know from that
Yeah,
last game he got beaten that more to score.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
So it's going to be a
He
scary
was hot
season.
last game.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. Absolutely, absolute flame trying for sure.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining us again for another episode of Hardwood and AstroTurf Talk Show. People, this was good. This was good fun. So hope you guys stay tuned. Hope you guys come out next week. And that's it, fam. Peace.
Peace.